Hello there and welcome to my channel Novice Modelling in a Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and today we're doing RS Models Sunday, which is a What's in the Box kit review number 219. Yes, we've done quite a few of these What's in the Box kit reviews, and today we have our RS Models 172 scale kit number 92259 Messerschmitt MEP.1107 Aufklarer, which I'm pretty sure is a rather unfamiliar aircraft to pretty much everybody, because it's one of these sort of off the drawing board sort of kits that, whether it went into actual production or not is kind of unlikely, although it might have got some basic parts done. Now, as per usual, we're going to have a look at the actual sprues, and we're going to have a look at the instructions, decals, and all the other bits and bobs. I'm going to read off Wikipedia for the description of this, which is pretty basic, to be quite honest with you, but it's slightly more detailed than what comes with the instructions themselves. So, the Messerschmitt P.1107, also MEP.1107, was a jet-powered bomber project developed in the final years of the Second World War. On January 25th, 1945, yes, they were still producing these crazy designs that late in the war, Messerschmitt proposed the P.1107-1 jet-powered bomber. The P.1107-1 was designed using experiences from the company's earlier Me-264 America bomber and was to be powered by two BMW 018 turbojet engines mounted in pods under the wings, or four BMW 003D or Heinkel HES 109/011 turbojet engines in twin pods under the wings. The steel and germanium fuselage was to have been taken from the Me-264, while the wings were to be constructed of wood. Landing gear was to consist of two large diameter main wheels which retracted into the fuselage and twin nose wheels, and the pennage was to have a high-set tailplane. Fuel tanks were to be carried in the mid-fuselage and wings, and the pressurized heated cabin would have housed the crew of four, as well as the radio and radar equipment. Offensive armament was to be a bomb load of 4,000 kilograms, not that much, carried in the fuselage. No defensive armament was proposed. The P.1107-1 was rejected by the RLM as it determined that it would not have enough speed or maximum altitude to reach the United States safely. Later on, the design would be refined as the P.1107-2. This variant would have been an all-metal construction and powered by four Heinkel HES 011 engines located in the wing roots. A VTOL was to have been fitted. The prototype of the P.1107-2 was in the early stages of construction when the war ended. Drawings exist of a third variant labelled IX/122. This variant is depicted without a tailplane and with a much larger wing. The main landing gear was retracted into the wings, while the single nose wheel would have rotated 90 degrees before retracting backward under the cabin. So yeah, there we go. So let's bring the box into a slightly better focus, and let's face it, that's a pretty awesome looking aircraft. It never flew, obviously, but it's pretty gorgeous looking. I mean, and contradicting the Wikipedia, we can see we've actually got some remote controlled cannon on this. And just to flip the box over, we have some proposed markings, which are obviously fictitious. We have a KG-40 Luftwaffe 1946 alternate marking here. We have a KG-26 Luftwaffe 1946 alternate marking here. And we have a KG-53 Luftwaffe alternate marking here. And here we have a KG-76 one in 1946 alternate marking. And they're all pretty cool, I mean, I must admit. So, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty awesome looking aircraft. To give you a sort of brief rundown on the actual history of the kit, it's a 2021 tool, so it's modern. There is another variant available, the 92261 with alternate decals, but it's essentially the same kit because RS models do a lot of these sort of same kit with multiple decals. And I would have bought this off Puzzlecraft, a eBay and internet trader, and their current price for this is £29.11. So it's not cheap, but it's kind of cool. I think you'll agree. So let's have a look at the instructions. First off, we can see that we have a couple of sprue diagrams here which clarify what's going on in front of us, and it's kind of parts light, so it's not exactly what you'd call a particularly complicated kit you would think to put together. There are some resin parts and some clear parts and the multiple decal sheet variants. So here we have window 1, I suppose you could call it, which is a basic assembly of the pilot's seat in the cockpit with some pedals and a stick. Section 2, we're going to put the rear bulkhead on. And then section 3, it appears we're going to have a rear seat here for potentially a co-pilot behind the pilot. Section 4, we've got some work to do around the tail. Section 5, we're going to put our wheels together. 6, landing gear. 7, we're going to put the top and the bottom half of the wings together. 8, we're going to address our tail, and 9, we're going to have a look at these remote control, I'm guessing, weapons. Section 10, we're going to put the wings together onto the fuselage, which is already built. We're going to put the nose cone on, I suppose you could call it. And then we're going to put our cockpit canopy on. Then we're going to fit our basic, kind of basic looking undercarriage together. And it's all going to go together like that. Does appear to be a sort of, I don't know, a single, well that's the front, that's what it says. So we've got 2 wheels here and 1 at the front. It's like a tricycle, so obviously it's going to need potentially some weighting in the front as well. And that's basically it. I mean, there you go. Pretty simple instructions, you'd say. So first off, we'll just have a quick nose at our resin parts, which are these engine mountings, which are kind of nice looking, I must admit. The last time I tried to cut something off these resins, I kind of made a bit of a balls up of it. We have some glazed pieces here, which are our main cockpit canopy at the front. We have this circular part, which I'm guessing is going right at the front. And we have these 2 parts, this part here, which, gotta be honest, I ain't sure what that is. Kind of looks like it's going to go here at the back. So here's our first sprue, which as you can see is the main fuselage. It's kind of bereft of any real sort of decal. We do have some recessed panel lines going on it, which you'd kind of expect for a kind of modern up-to-date kit. We have our cockpit floor here. And we have the first of our couple of wing-mounted wheels. This looks like it's going to be the cockpit instrument display with more instruments here, probably for our co-pilot or bomber. Not too sure what this is. Obviously, we've got a couple of cannon here, remote control. And this is going to be, I'm guessing, the front mechanism for our undercarriage. Not exactly certain what those are. We've got more wheels here. I'm hazarding a guess that that's going to be the interior of the front undercarriage bay. And that looks like a bulkhead of some sort. So here we have our wings, which, God, they look awesome. Got to be honest with you. This was a good buy. Again, not much detail going on. Doesn't seem to be any sort of access panels or anything on these wings at all. But we do have some panel lines. Doesn't really seem to be anything very much going on in the way of sort of ailerons or anything like that. We've got a couple of basic looking seats. These are going to be our machine gun housings. Got a couple of doors here, potentially I'm reckoning for the undercarriage. More here potentially for the front. Our wing mounted undercarriage. Not too sure what these parts are. There's our stick. Don't know what that is. Front wheels and our tail. Pretty standard with RS model kits. You don't really get any mounting points as such, but you do get some guidelines here for these sort of intakes on the forward facings of the wings. So beware, no mounting points, have to be accurate. Again, on the fuselage, you can see no little mounting points here either. So care is required when assembling. As far as the decals and our rather interesting suggested decal setup, it's kind of ugly looking with these big wheels, I must admit, but it's cool. It's a gorgeous looking aircraft. So there's our decal set, which gives us the range of 4 different options with a variety of unit markings here. Again, there's not an awful lot going on with sort of the customary sort of caution and warning signs. Got a couple of broken crooked crosses and some numbers going on as well, but that's about it. Let's just have another look at those. Yeah, that's kind of like my favourite there, I must admit. Although they're all pretty cool. So there we go. There's the Messerschmitt P.1107 Aufklarer. I'm not too sure what Aufklarer means, but that's, I mean, if that was flying around in the 60s or maybe even the 70s, you'd go, yeah, that looks really modern. And the Germans were trying to build these things in the 1945 when the Russians and the Americans and the British were closing at the gates of, you know, the whole of the German Reich. So you've got to take your hats off to these guys for putting something together in a design form as awesome as that. But I think that's a pretty special, interesting and cool looking kit. And thanks very much to RS Models for giving us the option to build it. Interestingly, RS Models do quite a lot of kind of out there and random kits, and we're going to be doing one of their kits as a kit review every day on a Sunday until I run out of kits. Basically, I think I've got about 30 RS model kits, so they're worth looking at, and potentially some of them are worth building as well. I've got to be honest, I can't wait to get my hands onto this one and actually build it. So thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and as always, please do be seeing you basically.